Thank you.
And so that's a perfect segue, though, because the next task force recommendation, what Dr. McCombs described, requires that you have a really skilled set of practitioners who are poised to make those kinds of decisions for students. And so the task force recommended that not only do we transform the curriculum and instructional strategies we're using in the classroom, but they really recommend that we go all the way back to teacher preparation programs. We need our teachers to come out of college ready for service with a wide range of knowledge about students, how they learn to read, and how to address them in the classroom. I'm sad to report that the current teacher preparation programs fall woefully short of supporting our teachers and being able to truly meet the needs of our students, especially those that are striving readers. And so we feel from the school system perspective, we're sort of playing catch up from day one because we're trying to retrofit all of the hours of professional learning around learning to read that are critically important. I can tell you that as a teaching candidate, when I was in college, I took one class and it was called Children's Literature. Now I loved it, and we went to the library and picked out books, which you all know I would enjoy that class by now, but it really didn't prepare me to teach reading other than one way. And so if a student presented to me in my classroom and they didn't learn the way that it said they should in my manual, I didn't really have a whole lot in my tool bag to help support them. And so we really do stress the importance of professional learning. I hope that some of the task force recommendations continue to press upon our colleges and universities so that we can have candidates that come to us with a much deeper bag of tricks ready to meet our students where they are. But in the meantime, we're going to continue to address it through a slew of opportunities for professional development. So we have done professional learning specifically, I mentioned before, on the topics of phonological awareness and phonics. And again, one of the powerful things that we've done specifically last year and this year is to address multiple audiences. I know I'm looking at you, Ms. Eaton, because you're one that's always good about asking us, well, how does it get to the teachers? How does it get to this population? And that's a critical part of any of these initiatives. So we do start with our reading specialists and special educators because they're leaders in the building, they're teacher leaders that can support our teachers, but we also found it was critically important to involve our administrators, in particular our IEP chairs, because we wanted them when they're sitting at that IEP team table or in an informal observation or parent conference to have that knowledge as well. We also address it with our STAT teachers because as professional learning teachers, they support the professional learning needs of all the teachers in their building. And then specifically, we've done training for classroom teachers themselves. We always balance that, as Ms. Ryder mentioned, the Orton-Gillingham training is lengthy, so you always have to balance pulling teachers out of the classroom. We don't want to pull our teachers from our most fragile students, and yet we need to support them with professional learning. So we're always working on that idea of going slow to go fast so that we can be sure we're providing that menu of services for our students, but also make sure that our teachers are where we need them to be, which is with our students.
Thank you. And again, I just want to say how powerful the combined professional learning, the joint collaborative professional learning that we've been providing this year, where our IEP chairs, typically it was a half-day mandatory training, and we've paired that. So we're really looking at not just the compliance and the legalities and those aspects of the IEP team and effective facilitation, but really matching that to the instructional practices. So for the other half of the day, they are meeting as a team with a reading specialist. We've added to that a special education teacher and an IEP chairperson. And it's been really powerful training where these groups of individuals are coming together and looking at also school data and talking about how they can match appropriate interventions to the individual needs of students, and also talking about the provision of service delivery and what that looks like, that it doesn't always necessarily need to be a special education teacher. In some cases, it could be the reading specialist, or it could be a general education teacher who's providing the services to the student. We're very excited about the Orton-Gillingham training, and we've, very excited about that. Is that something we've started here? We've actually been really recognized by other districts who are looking to us right now and how we're providing this training here. And thank you to the board for approving this, as this was a contract that went through a year ago. So we appreciate your support. It was a lofty goal, and we really are excited that we started it more in a smaller focus group. We had 61 teachers. And this year we have 95. It was our goal to have one special education teacher at minimum to start in every single elementary school and middle school. I'm very excited. We have all of our elementary schools and middle schools participating in this. So we will have one teacher in each elementary and middle school by the end of the year. Again, though, we know we need to sustain that. One is not enough, and we need to continue to expand that training so we have more than one special education teacher, and looking into other service providers potentially in the future to provide that training for. And then we do have some schools that have larger populations where one is not adequate. So we want to add the training also to our high schools next year as well. We're very excited by that. It was a competitively bid contract, and one person, though, in particular, who's providing most of our training this year, I just want to highlight Dr. Fran Bauman. She was selected to lead a lot of professional development here for our teachers, so they're getting consistent training. And she is a fellow in the Academy of Orton Gillingham Practitioners and Educators. She's had a plethora of experiences in working with students, special education students, general education students, and even those into the post-secondary and graduate levels in colleges. She is the former president of the Maryland branch of the International Dyslexia Association, and she also is a recipient of a prestigious award that she received. The Crosby Award is a Lifetime Achievement Award, and it was given to her by the International Dyslexia Association. So we're very excited to have her expertise here in Baltimore County and working with our teachers.